This episode of Super GG Radio is brought to you by our Patreon. Patrons of the show can get our Dogs of Super GG Radio newsletter, Super GG Radio stickers to slap on your closest PC or bag, input on what we cover, game nights with the hosts, and even a chance to win a copy of an indie we talked about. Not only that, but 90% of all patron contributions go to the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. Visit patreon.com/superggradio to learn more.
What's good, Internet? Welcome to session 237 of Super GG Radio, where friends chat about video games and all things adjacent. I'm your host, and for sure not an AI, trying to learn about humans, Eric Getty Gettinger. With me is another human, Alex Arona.
Beep boop. Hello, Internet. What is up?
Very well said. Next, we have sentient being Joel DeWitte.
There is nothing that can stop us from enjoying human food.
I do eat the ice cream with extra bites, I mean sprinkles. Last week, third person, Alec Parks.
Why are you guys acting so strange this week? Well, stranger than normal.
We will only do two dances. We will only do one dance, the robot and the Robo Boogie.
I am not acting strange.
We are here to increase human enjoyment by 30% and ensure that earholes are pleased with our noises.
That's skirting a line there.
Is it? All right.
I mean, we've already been making all sorts of noises here.
Yeah, weird robot noises. I don't know. I keep seeing more and more commercials for AI, and it's not great.
There's some not great news about it too, but
yeah, not a huge fan of what people are using AI for at this time, or just the idea of it in general.
I saw a comedian, and unfortunately I can't remember his name, but like the gist of the joke was, AI was supposed to remove all the menial tasks so we could focus on like art and human expression, and the opposite's happening. AI is taking art first.
Yeah. It's supposed to just compose stupid responses to my emails. And instead people are using it to create like full PowerPoint presentations of nothing. Ugh.
I recently saw, not that this is as relevant, but I recently saw one of my favorite YouTube channels giving out the favorite Easter eggs of 2023. And apparently there's a hidden hallway in that Jedi game that you played, Getty. What was it called? The Fallen Order?
That was the first one?
What was the second one?
Survivor?
Yeah, Jedi Survivor.
Apparently if you go down the wrong hallway, you end up in a room where they're painting a sexy Jabba, and a bunch of robots are learning art while painting a sexy Jabba.
Hey, man. It was a galaxy far, far away.
I mean,
robots need love
have to learn to love.
And honestly, I think Jabba is a sex symbol in the Star Wars universe. If you've seen him, he just lays there, like super confident, letting it all hang out.
Flopping that tail.
Yeah. He's always like, his tongue is like like sliding back and forth.
That tail.
Rajanabara Wookie nipple pinchy.
All right, we need to get out of here.
Yeah, I guess we can move on to actual podcast stuff. This week we flash back in early adopters. We finally integrate with the news, if you know what I mean. Then we end the episode with more Baldur's Gate 3.
USB
or
insertion.
whatever you guys put in here. I don't know if we're going to talk about either of those games. Whatever.
This is just a Baldur's Gate 3 podcast.
Yeah,
now.
this is just that's all we talk about now. Because we're going to move on to early adopters, where we play
Have you sexed up the bear yet?
Where we play alphas, betas, and games that taste like when I was a young boy at the arcade. Stale
I like to
popcorn.
imagine that they taste like... You said stale popcorn?
Stale popcorn and flat soda.
Oh, see, to me, I always imagined they tasted like Smarties.
Ooh.
Nah, he's being a dum-dum. Candy jokes. These are the jokes, Alex. Don't forget to laugh. Speaking of dum-dums, what was your favorite flavor?
Sour apple.
Really? I think cream soda was mine.
Mine was the mystery flavor.
No, Alec.
Yeah. Do you know how they make the mystery flavor?
Isn't it just everything
what
that's
is
left
it?
over?
You kind of. So instead of cleaning the machines out when they're changing flavors, they just push the new flavor in. And so it's that in-between flavor that's a mixture of the previous and the next flavors.
It's a freak of nature that shouldn't exist.
Much like me. Womp womp.
It's over there. Your dum-dum is saying, kill me. Sins against God.
All right. Enough candy jokes. On to video games. This week we played just 2 games. Both of them relatively short. One of them so short that I don't have too much to say on it, but you're all familiar with the Pac-Man? Well, we played some Paku Paku, which is 2D Pac-Man. And you might think to yourself, what do you mean it's 2D? Well, imagine...
I'd consider it 1D.
Is it 1D?
Yeah.
I mean, you go in 2Ds. Left and right.
Yeah.
I
there we go.
suppose.
Two directional.
Do you mean like 1 bit? Is that maybe what you were thinking?
No, I mean, like, two dimensions is X and Y axis. You've only got the X axis.
Movement-wise, that makes sense. I'm thinking, though, like, the game isn't just the row. There's also the high score and the exterior menu stuff. So I don't know. I dispute that on technicality.
So imagine, if you will, you are Pac-Man,
Pac-Man?
and you can go left or right. And those are the only 2 directions you can go.
It's a hallway.
There's one ghost that exists, and there's one power pellet, like the superpower pellet, and then a bunch of little pellets. And your goal is to outmaneuver the ghost by going left and right, and just trying to get a high score. There's no fancy bells or whistles. This is just straight up Pac-Man in one row.
And it's like the hallway wraps around. So if you go all the way left, you come out to the right.
Regular Pac-Man rules apply.
Yep.
And also that guy is a little faster than you.
Yes.
They
And I
generally
noticed
are just a little bit faster than you.
I noticed that the game does tend to know right when it's going to come out of the scared ghost form. Because, man, I have... it got me so many times. I was like, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. Nope.
Can't get greedy. You got to be safe.
Yeah.
The ghost also doesn't follow you all the way across to the screen when you go side screens. It'll start gravitating back towards the center once it sees you jumping from the left end and jumping back into the right end. So there is also this sort of kiting you have to do with the ghost a little bit too if you want to keep your run going.
So everybody wrote down their high scores, right?
I did.
I did not.
I also didn't.
I think it was like 1,000 something.
Yeah, I got 1,150.
I got to level 10.
There were levels?
Yeah, I was not
Yeah,
aware
every time you cleared the all the
another
pellets, it's another level.
Yeah.
And it was under your score. It was like
It did
X1.
get faster. I
Yeah.
do know it got faster.
Yeah.
Guys, this is Pac-Man. In the arcade, when you play Pac-Man, it gets faster every single time.
No, I was trying to say that it follows the same logic.
I didn't survive long enough to notice the speed change.
Really?
In that game.
Oh yeah.
I think it happens by the third screen in Pac-Man. You start to notice that the power pellets don't last as long, and that the ghosts are just a little bit faster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
those
the
power pellets don't hit.
the
they
Ninja
don't hit
Turtles
the same,
cabinet's right over there, so it
Yeah, I
only
figured
held my
you.
attention so long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, those power pellets, though, you need more to get the same.
First,
Sometimes
it's free.
you want to get the most out of your quarter, and trying to play the Ninja Turtles arcade game is not conducive to it.
Yeah, that's a bad choice.
There's back in my day,
No, I don't.
It's a multi-quarter
for
game.
Longevity.
We call that putting your quarter up.
and then Alex is the kind of guy that glues the quarter to the cabinet, and he's like, "That one's mine." So he's always got that cabinet.
I don't know. That's how that works. Yeah, my brother told me that's how you know you put your quarter up.
Yep.
So everybody had a good experience with Paku Paku.
Oh, it was great. I liked it. I thought that's a very clever idea to take something like you always hear, like, okay, what if we take this game and add this thing, which we do see a lot. Here is, what if we take this game and then we take away stuff?
Yeah, it's like distilling the formula, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, it's like one power pellet, one ghost, no limit.
Final Destination.
It's Final Destination. It's Final Destination,
It's
of
Pac-Man in its purest form.
right? That's good. Yeah.
All right. Now that we've distilled it, we have this tonic that we can drink. Paku Paku. Go play it. It's a flash game.
Yep.
Next up, everybody
Oh, boy.
is on the Steamboat Willie kick.
Oh boy.
And I was like, well, let's just pull off the Band-Aid and play a game with this IP in it so that we never have to cover it again.
You know that's not going to be the first. It won't be.
It's not the last one, but I figured the sooner we get it out of the way, maybe it'll lose some of its. People will realize
Luster?
that they don't need to do it. Either way,
Yeah.
we
Sounds
played
like
it.
exposure therapy.
Yeah, smoke
So-
those cigarettes so that you don't smoke anymore.
We played
We played.
Moussacre.
I subjected everyone to Moussacre.
This is definitely that, like, hey, what if we made Steamboat Willie dark and weird, and like he's a serial killer?
I don't know about
And-
dark though. That's the weird thing.
He's a serial killer, and that music is unhinged.
But he's collecting.
And when he starts
like,
running, he
gems,
just gets a big
like
grin with the
tons of
knife.
gems.
You're too busy bouncing around everywhere to notice his expression.
Yeah, this
That's
is
all
he's
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
he is
happy.
horrifying though. If you look at it, he's frightening.
It's really fast paced too. So
This is becoming kind of more of like a genre now.
Yeah.
Is the idea of like it was based off of the first game to really do this kind of like high speed rush through levels outside of like Sonic is the WarioWare or the Wario Land games.
Yeah.
There was one that came out last year called Pizza Tower. That was very good, and the idea is still like you go through a level, and then once you get to the end of it, you have to rush through it backwards, but at high speeds while being chased. And in this game, it does rely on, like, even the boss. It's just you just gotta bolt and go through the challenges as fast as you can while he's trying to kill you. Which is that supposed to be Walt Disney's head?
I
Yes,
don't
it
know
is.
that you can say Walt Disney. It
Okay, but it's a guy
distinctly
with a
looks
Hitler
like a.
mustache.
Steamboat Willie's original creator.
There we go.
Well, hold on. How about this? It's the original creator with a Michael Jordan mustache. Michael Jordan 90s Hanes ad mustache.
I don't think you realize, but that gentleman always had this mustache. You should be terrified.
I'm gonna Google Michael Jordan in his prime, and he did not have that in
No,
Space Jam.
Michael Jordan didn't. The other guy.
Oh yeah, that I knew, but I was trying to say it the nice way, which is the Michael Jordan mustache. The Charlie Chaplin.
Oh, dude's got red eyes too. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, it's oh, you're looking at it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Moussacre is weird, and he's killing police officers, which is also weird. There's
And
snakes
all-
and pigs.
All the police officers are pigs.
No, there's snakes.
They're not police officers, are they?
Yeah, they have
I thought-
guns.
They got a little hat.
They're
They got a
so
little hat,
small, it's tough to see.
but they got a
Yeah.
little hat.
I do have a complaint.
Okay.
Yes.
So in the description of this game, I gave it
Uh-huh.
too much credit when they said Mousetrap finally breaks out and goes on a rampage to steal color by any means necessary.
Okay.
Okay.
I was hoping or expecting that as you played through the level, you would maybe see the color drain out from things. And no, they're talking about collecting the orbs that you go around to. And a lot of the stuff really, besides the orbs, are a lot of shades of gray and brown anyway. So, yeah.
There's a moral to this story.
With the moral.
Run fast.
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
Run fast, smoke grass.
Didn't say that, but
Steamboat Willie.
so the boss fight,
Ka-chow. Ka-chow.
the boss fight was kind of entertaining because it's not really a fight. What you're doing is you're just trying to run through and use the environment to hide from the boss while he shoots ice crystals at you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that did happen.
Which I think I like that better than the normal, like, learn the boss's routine and try and stab him a bunch of times kind of fights that we have come to rely on in many, many games. Alec is undergoing that punishment right now.
Just a little bit.
Make sure
No, actually,
yeah,
I'm on the back half.
What are we referring to?
The messenger.
Oh, okay.
Learn those
You're not fighting
patterns,
stuff?
and then stabby stab.
And then stabby stab.
And dodge.
Oh,
A lot
okay.
of dodging. Yeah. Anybody have any other mouse-related comments that they want to make?
Well, we all took screenshots of our time,
High
right?
scores, right? Yeah.
I think so. I can't remember what it was.
Let's see. I went for time.
Yeah, I think mine was like 6 minutes.
Oh man, I was 10.
Yeah, it dropped my score significantly. Like, it cut my score in half. I was at 30,000, and all of a sudden I was at like 14.
Dang.
What about you guys?
I didn't save it.
The only one that takes this serious.
I guess.
Yeah, I didn't care.
I figured the time was more important than the score.
Well, I think the higher the time, the lower it scores you.
Yeah.
Like, it cuts your score, like I said, in half.
Do we need to set a general rule that if we're playing a game with a score system that we need to write down our high score?
No.
It's always been a common thread. This is the first time that you guys have never done it.
You don't have to do that. There's no point in it. Half the time,
Of course
we don't
there
even,
is. It's for
half the time we
internet
don't even
points.
play the games or
we show
finish
these
them.
conversations sometimes, and I feel like the kid that didn't bring their homework.
No, here's what usually
Even
happens.
Alex said it's for internet points.
I play everything to completion, come to the podcast, look like a clown because I did, and then everybody else is like, "Oh, I didn't realize you could do that." Yeah. So the one time
Daddy,
I
if there's
decided
one
not to
thing
do
that
it
we could-
for
If
anything,
there's one thing that we can always rely on you, it's to get to completion.
yep. But only while you're watching
okay.
me, Alex.
Oh.
Otherwise,
Oh.
I can't get there.
Oh.
Speaking of which, you
We're not
want to
allowed
come
to
over and
swear.
watch me play? What?
We're not allowed to swear, so we gotta do something.
Well, fine then. All right. Pack it up, Pac-Man. Let's take a short break. Hey, News. There's nothing silent about these hills when you and me are together. Ooh!
That's my hole. It's shaped like me. It's my hole.
I get that one.
Is that a reference?
Yes, it's a Junji Ito reference, a very weird horror guy.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That was good, Alec.
I just wanted to say that it looks like it's really going to happen. Silent Hill 2 remake coming this year. And that's how that's how I wanted to frame this opening. I guess we can have Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta. I thought it was just Metal Gear Solid Delta. Is it 3 Delta?
Maybe it is just Delta. You could be right.
I think it's just Delta. Well, either way, got some remakes in the works for games that were hot back in the day. Can they hold up to the original? Only one
It's
way to
weirder.
find out.
I mean, it's weird that remakes, people are remaking their games.
Some of them have been really good.
That's so strange. Who does that?
Everything old
everybody.
is new again.
Also, Last of Us 2 remaster is out this year.
Isn't it out like in 2 weeks or something like that? No, in a week?
Yep.
It's out now.
Spaghetti.
By the time this
it's
comes out.
Do you know what also is going to be new in that?
Well, looks like Alex has Last of Us 2 remastered, now with a guitar mode. Guitar mode.
But no, it'll include the composer as a playable character to play the guitar.
You know, I saw some of the stuff that they said was going to be new in it, and I would be remiss if I did not say that I'm intrigued for some of the other content, some of the stuff that wasn't in the original. There's supposed to be more to what's going on in the town leading up to the actual adventure. So,
Gaddy, you've played this game?
by a show of hands, who else has played this game? Yes, I'm the only person that played Last of Us 2.
Should I play this game?
Did you play the first one?
I did.
Yeah, we played it for the podcast. What am I
Yep.
talking about? It is a very good game. You're going to feel like the worst you've ever felt in your life while playing a game, but it's a really good game. It goes places, and it goes places where you're like, please don't make me do this, and then you do it.
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah. I've got the PS4 copy. I forget how I got it, but it was dirt cheap somewhere, I think. But I see that they'll let you upgrade it to the remaster now if you just plops $10, on the table. So
that's
for
not
the
bad.
extra content that you'll get, and you have a PlayStation 5,
yeah.
it's kind of worth it to spend the $10 to get more. In this case.
It seems reasonable, and especially if you want something to, leverage the hardware that it's on more.
Also, I think it was they just had the Christmas sale, and it was, I think I got it at one point for $20 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can upgrade it. That's what we're talking about, being able to upgrade
No,
it.
I'm saying is I think that the PS5 version was still also very cheap.
Okay.
Or no, wait, that's the remake. That's the remaster.
Yeah.
So it'll just be that. So that's not. It's the PS4
Either
version.
way, I recommend The Last of Us 2. It was really, really good, but once again, you're not going to feel good playing it. I went to some dark,
That's what I've been
some
waiting
dark
for, is
places.
that, I've been debating when I want to feel like crap.
But it's not the first one. You know how the first one really struck some emotional chords. It really made you think, and the characters and the story that it tells, they really bond. Mm-hmm. Same kind of stuff happens in this one, but it's much darker.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep
Joel,
an,
let me know.
just
and
keep
I'll-
an open mind.
Joel, let me know, and I'll do it with you.
I'm
troll
gonna
you.
I'm gonna do it.
No, tell me when.
Well, when does it come out?
I swear, it's
Hold on.
very
Is it-
soon.
Is it right there?
It's happening right now. No, I don't know.
It is next week, which this came out. Oh, so it's next week.
Yeah. I'll dive
Yeah,
in.
so by the time this airs, you might already be playing it.
Possibly.
I'm into it.
Man,
I mean, if only our PS5 controllers would have a longer battery.
I mean, I don't know what you guys are complaining about. I have that
What?
orange thing that has a very long battery life, so. Oh, new PlayStation 5 controller with 12-hour battery life leaked by retailer. You know what's weird about this?
What's
That
that?
they advertise it?
Well, that too, but when are you so far away from your system that you can't charge it?
Okay, so here's the deal, okay?
Okay.
And
I'm
and
lazy.
I have a secondary. I have a
and
secondary comment
I
as well.
put my controller down and don't put it back on the charger when I'm done. So then it sits there, and by the time I'm ready to play a game again, well, the controller is blinking dead, and my charging cord is like 8 foot long. So I'd have to be like that
What?
kid sitting on the floor playing the game.
Now, for me, when I got the PS5, I also had a very small child, and the cable to charge off the PS5, the only one the port that actually works to charge when the PS5 is in sleep mode is on the back. So I have to have a cord that comes from the back of the PS5 wrapped around, dangling, waiting for a small child to grab it and pull.
So, Alex, do you want to hear about why I just realized we're idiots?
Can I show you something?
We could have.
Random USB-C that is plugged into the wall here.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh! Oh my!
That's dad.
Oh, it's charging!
Bad noise.
No, that needs to be a soundboard noise.
Okay, we got a clean read from it, so I can do that. But at the same time, we all had a lot of fun here today.
Yeah, we did.
I don't appreciate that. Like we all have fun jokes here. We all like to have a laugh.
Alex is gonna punch me in the face next time I see him.
That feels like an HR violation.
You know what else is an HR violation?
What's that?
Dead by Daylight bringing Alan Wake.
Are you not? Does this not convince you?
Dude,
to
I don't play
Dead
Dead by Daylight. No, I'm good.
Would you?
No.
No.
He doesn't like to play with friends.
No, that's exactly
He has
correct.
friends. This is almost the most egregious crossover in this news story.
What?
Almost.
That Tekken 8 gets a
Nope.
gets
Keep going.
the story read by Brian Cox.
No, that's amazing. Now, okay, Brian Cox is amazing as an actor. He's
a national
what
treasure.
Feels like he was. I believe he was Macbeth at some point. He is Shakespearean, and to have him read "What the hell is a devil gene?" and then explain the history of Tekken, phenomenal. Now, give me a celebrity that you would like to hear read in a serious manner the story of, because I think Bryan Cranston explaining to me the plot of Final Fantasy VIII would be amazing.
That's pretty good.
What do you guys got? Anything?
I wish I had more prep time to think about this.
I want to see.
Who I'd want to narrate.
And then what game? He doesn't have to narrate. He's in a recap. Because if you read that Tekken, if you listen to Brian Cox telling you about Tekken, you by the end are like, okay, I think I'm ready to play Tekken 8.
How about Nick Offerman?
Okay.
And
Okay.
he would narrate the Metal Gear Solid story.
Which one?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
So
it
if
would
you
be-
had Nick Offerman doing 45 minutes of just reading the synopsis of every single Metal Gear Solid game.
He did an audiobook recording of Yankee and King Arthur's Court. He can handle a 45-minute video.
Okay. That's pretty good. I like Nick Offerman. I'm into it.
See, I'd go for Bruce Campbell, but I don't know what video game series.
And I find it. I don't think he would take it serious.
I don't want him to take it serious. I want him to be Bruce Campbell.
What if it was him summarizing the Evil Dead video games that came out?
Or no, what if he did something? No, because he's not going to take it serious. We need to make sure he knows not to take it serious. So I want him to tell me the plot of
Metal Gear Solid.
Sonic the Hedgehog of 2008. So then Sonic kisses a girl, a human girl. That's weird. Yeah, I want that. Sonic 2008.
Oh man, I want Charlie Day to read something because I know he'll do it in that insane manner that he does, but I don't know what I would want it to be.
Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
I think Metal Gear Solid is the answer because he would be like,
For a lot of this, yeah.
There's what is it? The nanomachines. There's nanomachines ever. This guy's made of nanomachines. That guy's made of nanomachines. There's a vampire.
You know what might be good? Someone doing Death Stranding. So then he goes to talk to Die Hardman, and
that could be Charlie Day then.
Like a little bit younger Tim Curry doing it.
oh
Yeah. Yeah.
This is all fantastic. I mean,
All right.
this is a good
Tim
story.
Curry
Now, what's the-
narrating the Command and Conquer series.
Oh,
Space!
There's individual clips that are floating around. It's not just that video where you can tell he's holding back laughter, but that's a legendary video.
It was great.
All right.
Getty, that's not the crossover.
Yeah, I know. Final Fantasy 16 in Final Fantasy 14? LOL.
Yep.
So what's wrong?
So it's real silly that they're putting Final Fantasy 16 stuff into Final Fantasy 14. It's just like it's a snake eating its own tail. It's like XVI and XIV. It's just like a little dumb.
That is pretty quick down the pipeline too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it the same?
Well, the
team,
Yoshi P, I
or-
believe it's Yoshi P who does
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 14 stuff, also
Yep.
made 16.
Yeah. So
Yoshi
that
P is kind of the new headlining for the franchise.
makes a little bit more sense that he'd want to do that. Push it in
Is
there.
Yoshi P, is that a girl or a boy?
It's somebody. It's sure a person. I thought it was a dude. I could be wrong. But you know what I'm not wrong about, unless somebody
No.
put the wrong information here. Pal
Oh,
World.
that's Naoki Yoshida. Okay, yeah. He's a he.
All right, Pal World goes early access on Xbox Game Pass January 19th.
And Steam.
And Steam.
What is Pal World?
Isn't it just Pokemon with guns?
And
Yes.
base building and survival. Like you
I mean,
can
all
get
that matters is I saw a yellow Totoro who had a mini gun.
you can get to a point where you're starving and you have to eat your pal.
Yeah.
You're starting
Alright,
to
I'm-
sell me on.
I'm a hard pass on this game.
And how you get them to it's just like Pokemon, to catch them you have to whittle them down, but you whittle them down with your AK-47 and dual Uzis. That's the game, Joel. And your Pokemon have the guns too.
You know, the thing is, the more you talked about it, it sounds really wrong. But then Alex talks about the fun part of it. It's like, what Faustine Barda do I want to take to play this?
What's funnier is that if you watch the trailer, you're like, "That's ridiculous." Oh, yeah, that's okay. That's it. That's the thing. So it's pretty good. It's what it says on the tin.
Yep.
I'm very interested.
All right,
Maybe if we have time, we'll do a beta breakdown.
we're down to the last few here. Awesome Games Done Quick 2024 starts this weekend. Or if this is the audio version of the podcast, it started last weekend.
Or yesterday.
Woo-hoo.
Or, yeah, I guess if it's the audio
This goes up
version.
on Mondays now.
Who knows when it goes up? Are you listening to it after it goes up?
I do. It's Mondays now.
What's our streaming schedule look like? Don't answer that.
It's up there too. It's updated.
Alex,
it's updated.
Do we
Alex,
want to
this
plug
is your-
stuff now? We can plug stuff now.
Alex, this is
What's the
your
next
headline.
story?
You said you wanted this one.
Yeah.
This
do
is
it.
yours. Go ahead.
Notable YouTuber, dad YouTuber since like the real early days, Matt Pat of Game Theorist is officially retiring from game theory, movie theory, style theory, and food theory. So he has 4 different channels that comprise the Theorist network, and he is retiring from them all, and it's very sad. But he, from what I understand, he works 18 hours. Like he says, it's pretty much is done at 2, and starts work at 6. Like 6 in the morning till 2 in the evening. In the middle of the night, and he just keeps working. And he's got a 5-year-old now. So it's like his wife is part of the company as well, so she's also working those hours. So they say they really don't have a whole lot of time to sleep or do really anything. So it's good for them. I'm glad they're retiring. It's just sad because he's done a lot of good. Like he's a very positive presence in the YouTube space. You see like a lot of YouTubers now, and you're like, oh, I like this guy, and the next thing you know, they're canceled because it turns out they're a horrible person.
Yep.
And Matt Pat was never that. So he was always always a clear conscience, and always kind of like, he was always an innocent. So like things would come up, and then he would be like, I don't even know what this thing, what it is. And then it turns out it was like a funny sex thing, but he's just like completely innocent of it all. He was just like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. So he was just like an overall well-rounded kind of pure guy who had to doing very well for himself, at least in the theorist community, and his starting a community of that kind of stuff, doing ARGs. Supposedly, like, what's funnier is that a lot of people are like, oh, he's gonna retire and take some time for himself, and then he's like, oh, by the way, I'm starting this ARG, and I'm gonna make an ARG, like a hidden lore video game, and I'm gonna make and I'm doing all this other stuff, and it's like, oh, you're not even taking a break, man. You gotta take a break. He's like, no, I just want to do more stuff, and it's like, oh, that's, oof. So. But I mean, hopefully there's time for him to actually enjoy life now and take a little break. So he's done a lot of content.
It really sounds like maybe it's just as much about wanting to branch out and follow other pursuits. So it seems like he won't be going away as much as changing his focus.
And won't be like in front of the camera as much. He said he's got like 9 more theories, which is like 9 weeks of stuff. But the thing is that like, yeah, so. If you remember, there was the Lo-Fi Girl channel and how she kind of disappeared for Christmas, and then like turns out that was an ARG that led to like her having a backstory and a character. Mm-hmm. Apparently, Matt Pat's making that a thing as like a project. Is that like it's a lo-fi music channel that will have hints and lore in it that you gotta find and go to this other website and do these codes and decipher clues. It's like because that's what he likes to do. He likes games that do that. Like Inscription had like days of that where people actually had to go and dig up cards and stuff in the real world. Just like he loves doing that stuff, so he's gonna be making stuff for his channel to dissect, and that also includes like video games because like Five Nights at Freddy's is also all of that, where there's just like so much content on the back end of just like looking in the website's code and then understanding like, oh, if you do this thing and break the wall and go out of bounds in the game, you'll do another thing. It's just he wants to make that stuff now, which is really cool for him. So I will miss his videos, and I always watch them, even the ones that I've already seen, just because it's like good background fodder. Sans' Ness. Let's keep going.
All right. But he's still around, so you won't really miss him too much, right?
He'll be around, just he'll be less in the forefront in the future. But I have 9 weeks to watch his stuff. Until
he retires, or until he deletes it all?
Oh no, he's retiring. No, he's got hosts for each of his channels. He said that I do not expect anybody to continue my schedule. So instead of it being me for 4 channels, it's 4 people for 4 channels.
Yeah.
One of these days we'll retire.
We will?
Nope.
Speak for yourself.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna work until I die.
Yep, that's the plan.
Really? I guess I'll retire someday. Once I hit it big at the salt mines. Anyway, on to the best part of the podcast, the freebies.
Freebies.
Freebies. Let's run through these like it's I'm stopping my train of thought right there. First one up, Mossy Pixels over on Steam.
Is this like a church thing? Is he singing church stuff?
Next up, we have Teleforum.
Mossy Pixels. You have a picture, and you're trying to uncover it by moving your pointer finger and getting rid of all of the moss over it to uncover a hidden picture.
Ooh, dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have Teleforum over on Steam.
Found footage style horror game exploring the unknown side of media. You're visiting a widow's apartment to conduct an interview about her husband's death, but that's not the main reason why you're here. It's all about the tape, isn't it? First person walking through, exploring, and going through found footage. That's very scary.
Awesome. Next up, Blood Dome Classic over on Steam.
This is a Bullet Heaven arcade classic that started it all. Is that the genre? So this might be the first Vampire Survivors. It looks to be almost like the very first Vampire Survivors. Apparently they're calling it Bullet Heaven as the genre. But yep, it's a very early Vampire Survivors.
Okay. Next up, Time Survivors Chapter 0 over on Steam.
If you're really interested in some more Vampire Survivors, Time Survivors Chapter 0, the heroes are based off of historical characters.
Like who?
Doda Nobunaga. You got Tesla. You got all sorts of different historical people. Cleopatra, all with different abilities and skills and skill trees, but essentially Vampire Survivors.
Joel, did you already download this?
I can confirm.
Thank you.
That it's downloaded and that you played it?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool.
Yep.
Next, Iron Guard Homecoming on MetaQuest.
This is a mixed reality game where you open portals in your living room walls and shoot all sorts of creatures and enemies. Endless waves of rogue terraformers whilst building and upgrading powerful turrets and defending your house. / castle. It says castle here, parentheses, house.
Don't know how I feel about that, but last up, Sail Forth over on the Epic Game Store.
Sail a fleet of customizable ships across an ocean whose ancient depths have swallowed the key to the mysterious past. Befriend fish folk to expand your boat crews, skill trees to upgrade your ship, take up arms against petulant pirates, and chart a course across an expansive watery world. This is like an open world, a little boat sailing that can end up going into pirate ships. It actually looks pretty good.
Do it. Did you do it?
Did you do it yet?
Thanks for being on the same wavelength. No shame here, but let's get this suspicious itch checked out in a break. Ooh. We're back with the Backlog Blog, where we play games about being a jerk. Hey, Joel.
Hey, what?
Did you play this co-op style?
I did.
That's the best way to do it. Joel, tell us about Untitled Goose Game.
Sure.
I never heard, like, I know it exists as a thing, but I've never actually heard of anybody actually playing it co-op.
I did with Lisa last year.
Oh, yeah, you never mentioned it.
Yeah, I talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
So
I certainly did.
Joel, hit me with a brand new information that Getty definitely did not bring to the table.
So Untitled Goose Game is a meme personified that hit a craze during the year, but they do something else like a flash in the pan. I know I had my brief stint of fun with it, but I only got about halfway and decided, okay, I've seen what I need to. I can move on.
Oh, you've never beat it?
I never beat it. I got about halfway where I was just like I wasn't.
It's got a real satisfying ending.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know that now.
Now.
So they've got co-op mode, and my younger son, he gravitated to this game when it came out too, because like most people, you want to be a real jerk and haunt at everybody and steal the farmer's carrots and turn on the water spout or steal the pipe from the man sitting there and reading his newspaper. Getting a paint bucket on a burly man's head. I love that they call the dude a burly man.
He burly.
He just looks like you're kind of like middle-aged, hunched over physique kind of look and all that. So, this game, it gained so much by being a cooperative experience. One, just having two people to coordinate things a lot better. Like that first area where you have the farmer and like he's chasing you as you're trying to take things out to put onto the picnic area.
Into the picnic, but
Right.
yeah.
But it's like when single player, it's doable, but it's also like you have to be real sneaky and it'd be tough in some pieces. It turns into a party when you're with another person because somebody can just be obnoxious while the other and block the farmer while the other one goes and has his pick of the litter.
Yeah. I did find it. I remember it feeling a little bit like very difficult to like time a lot of the stuff and to do it to, like by myself.
Yeah.
It's a stealth game if you do it solo,
It really-
because it's all about strategically using the cover and other areas while grabbing what you need and running away. But there is just something satisfying about being the person that honks at everything. Mm-hmm. And spreading your wings and doing like the big flaps and then just honk, 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 honk.
Being the big man on campus.
Yeah.
Really. I like it.
So, yeah, it's we had a lot of fun. You know, I'm not sure how much more there is to say outside of that, and that having two people does really like also open up lots of opportunity for mischief beyond just haunting at people. So you can sort of set things up where maybe I walked up and untie someone's shoe and then we walk by and have them chase after you and trip and fall, and then a baker will bump into you with a box and drop the box, or you know, things like where you can get a guy to misthrow darts at a wall by a perfectly timed honk. There's a lot of clever humor in this, but that was known, but it just the co-op aspect really played it up a lot. And going back to the ending, you know, the last area is like a miniature of the entire area you've been in the game so far. And it is, you've got a trophy, I think, right? Isn't it a trophy?
You
The
got
bell.
the bell.
Bell.
You got the
The
bell.
Yeah, you grab a bell, and the whole you take a whole return trip back to where you started in the woods. So you end up going back through all these different sections, and it's almost like a boss rush of all these different people chasing after you. And once you get through each part, the people from that area would sort of give up, but then you'd have to contend with a new group of people and dealing with smaller and tighter spaces. And the ending is you get back to where you started and toss this bell into a ditch with a bunch of other bells.
Mm-hmm. Nothing more cathartic.
You've been doing this. You've been doing this for days.
You've been terrorizing these people for as long as you can remember. I like to think of it as a rite of passage for the geese. I don't think that it's just him. I think it's other geese too that are going on this journey.
Pilgrimage.
Yeah. It's like, if you want to make it in the Goose game, you got to do this. And that's why there's so many. I feel like the townspeople would get smarter if it was just the one Goose. Mm-hmm. But no, this is generations of bell stealers.
That's awesome.
And then you float away into the end credits.
Yeah.
Retreat to the lake. I love it.
Yeah, they opened up new challenges past that too, like extra hard challenges. And my son, of course, went like, "Let's get started," and I said, "Let's take a break." we'll get back to it, but like that ending point, it is such an exclamation point that you got to give it a rest for a bit, just to go in with a fresh set of eyes.
Fun, if not chaotic. And then somebody played Exit 8. I imagine that is Alex.
Did we talk about Exit 8 already or no?
We talked
You know
about
what?
Exit 9.
I
Okay.
thought we talked about it, but I looked through the last couple episodes in the archive, and it's not there in the backlog blog. So
I think I told you about it in person.
Yeah, maybe
well-
in chat or something. This looks familiar.
Exit 8 is it was an indie that came out last year, and it ended up sneaking onto my game of the year list as like a game that like, oh, I should someone had mentioned we should check it out, and I was like, okay, well, I'll throw it on there. Apparently it's really short. And what it is a glorified Spot the Difference. So Gaddy, I don't know if I talked to you about this, but you're in a subway alley, like just like an underground subway hallway. You look, there are 3 posters to your left, 2 doors on the right. There's a sign that says Exit 8 this way. A guy with a briefcase walks past you. You're like, okay. You turn the corner, it says, and then you turn the corner, it says Exit 0. Okay, you go turn that corner, and it's the same hallway. You look, and everything looks the same. You move forward through the hallway, and at the other side it says Exit 1. Like, okay, you look through the next hallway, you're in the same hallway again, everything looks the same, you go, and it says exit 2. We're like, oh, okay. But one time you look in the hallway, and the guy walks past, but he stares at you. And you're like, that's not correct. So you go backwards, and when you turn the corner backwards, like you're not walking backwards, but you turn around and go the reverse direction, you turn the corner, and it says exit 2. So the idea is, if the hallway is exactly the same, you move forward. If there's something different, then you go backwards. And it's just a game where, like, okay, you're like, I'm at exit 3, great. And you go to a hallway and you're like, this looks exactly the same. You walk forward and it says exit 0. You're like, no, I missed something. Something was different there. And so some of them are kind of subtle. It ends up, it's not a horror game, but the tropes in there, by seeing the same experience in such a quiet setting, the things that are different are just jarring. So it becomes kind of a horror game when you're just going through the same hallway and all of a sudden that guy turns at you and stares at you. It just feels off because you've set up a normalcy in your brain. And it's just different things. Sometimes it's like, oh, the eyes are scratched out of this poster. That's not cool. But then also sometimes you walk down the hallway and all of a sudden you see a figure painted as the background, and you go near it and it starts chasing you, and you're like, nope, no, and you got to run the other way. So sometimes they're really subtle, and you really got to stare stuff down. Sometimes they're real, just like, oh, that's a big red flag, and it's a very fun, quick burst game of just trying to figure out how to get all the way through to get exit 8, and it's really clever. The other thing is, though, is that, like, I don't know how much replayability it has, because you're really just, like, once you kind of know the tells of, like, okay, I have a checklist now of things that I know can be wrong, they roughly have only, like, 15 differences. So once you've kind of seen them all, you're pretty much like, okay, I know I'm going to check here, I'm going to check here, I'm going to check here, I'm going to look down here. Okay, everything's clear, I'm good to go. So it does kind of lose its luster, but, I mean, you can, if you do it right, it's like a 20-minute experience. But, like, if you're stuck in something, like, it took me about an hour, because I would miss one small detail, and then once I figured it out, I'm like, that's the one I've been missing. Now it's on my checklist. It's up here now. I know to check it. You know, it's just stuff like that. It's very clever, and I think that it's something that's more people should check out for, what, like $3?
Yeah, it's $4.
$4, yeah. It's really clever. It does what it does very effectively. Just having the no audio, just ambient sounds of echoes as you're walking, and then all of a sudden one thing is just different. It provides this perfect kind of horror atmosphere without being horrifying.
Okay.
You know, like, you walk down the hallway and you turn the corner, and all of a sudden the one of the vents is bleeding, and you're like, oh yeah, that's not.
Oh, not again. Hate it when
you turn the hallway a second time and you're like, the vent's bleeding again, man. And that's what I mean, is that, like, it could be horrifying, it could be not, but it does, like, an effective use of very minimal, like, assets. Like, this is made probably with this, you know, how long would it take to make this video game, right? Probably not very long, because you have all the assets, you have all this, you know. You only need this much space. It's very short, you know. Just make an alteration that's a randomized number generator that will automatically change one asset or two. Boom. And I think this is something, like, you know, the idea of Vampire Survivors, right? Very minimal. But they do a lot, and it becomes very effective. So I think that Exit 8 is very good.
All right. Thank you for telling us about Exit 8. You know what that means. We're going to move on to the last segment of the night. One last thing. And this week's one last thing is brought to you by more layoffs. And you get a severance package. And you get a severance package. Or maybe you don't.
Everybody gets a severance package.
Everybody's fired. Get out of here.
It's a little dark.
I demand a week's pay for every year I've been employed.
We never hired you, so...
You've been employed for 6 months.
Oh!
You get 2 days. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Cut
All right.
it out.
My one last thing. Baldur's Gate 3. Alex, your turn.
End of list. I'm working on a couple of reviews here and there, but otherwise I'm just hanging out, enjoying my time. I will say that for Christmas I got Beth Pokemon Snap, the new one, and it's funnier. I'm playing it. I'm quote unquote playing it with her, but I'm mostly just like kind of watching and experiencing Pokemon in that kind of setting, and it's funnier. She's actually getting very stressed out because every time I'm like, no, look at that one. No, wait, no, go to the right. No, this one right. Oh, no, you're missing it. Oh, that one, it's so cool. Look at him, he's flexing at you. Oh, he's flexing on us. Oh, Beth, take a photo of him flexing on us. It's like, I'm very hard. I'm having to like fight the urge to backseat.
Guys,
Pokemon Snap.
If you have never gone to a comic book convention with Alex, that's the experience right there. You need to go with him because he's like, oh man, look, is that Booster Gold? Oh, no way, Blue Beetle. Oh, somebody's dressed up as a gender-swapped Superman. Oh,
look at this Godzilla, man. What is Godzilla doing here?
It's just all over the place. Like, oh, Iron Man. Oh, his helmet comes up.
Yeah, Bethany's going, why are you yelling at me? I'm not yelling. I'm just excited.
I've seen Alex chase down people to get pictures of them. It is great. That is the experience. All right. Thank you for that. Joel?
So there is currently a current sale going on in Steam. It's the Capitalism and Economy Fest going on from the 8th to the 15th. So I'm seeing some decent discount here, guys.
What are we looking at?
Let's see. How about Anno 1800?
Oh, I hear good things.
Okay. City Skyline. I should go for a city sim. I don't know how I feel about that, though. Tropico.
Let me see what else.
Tropico 6.
I hear good things about that as well.
Okay.
I've got multiple of those for free.
Yeah, PS, PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
How about...
Is Not Tonight 2 on there? I'm waiting for that
Not
one.
Tonight 2? I don't see it
No.
on there. Yeah, I know. It's been on my wish list for a bit. No, it's not on sale. It's not economic enough.
Nope.
It's plenty capitalism, though, just not economic enough.
I mean, Jurassic World Evolution.
Get yourself some Monopoly.
Is that like build your own Jurassic Park?
Yep.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty cool.
Definitely not fried chicken. Looks okay.
All right. Well, anyway, look forward to future coverage of one of these. So.
Ooh,
Oh,
Dawn
man.
Duality's on there.
Oh,
yeah, we
man, no,
played that.
definitely no. I think the winner for me is definitely not fried chicken, where you're in charge of it might as well be just Tyson chicken.
No.
We don't
Grow
use
your drug trade through legitimate fronts by managing both sides
we
of the
don't
business.
use that word here.
Oh, that.
So it's drug trade, but through it's a front. It's a front. So you're making fronts for your business.
Definitely not fried chicken.
I'm kind of like hovering over the button on this one.
All right. Well, you can hover over it, but Alec, take us home.
As soon as I can figure out which timeline's the right one to be in. Messenger's getting to me.
It's trippy. At times, you really have to figure out where to go on the map so that you can go forward or backward. And
Yes.
sometimes I would go back too far and then not be able to go where I wanted to. That time hop is wild.
It is wild and it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I think I might just look up a
How-to.
FAQ. Yeah, and
Yeah.
be like, okay, where am I actually supposed to be going now that I have free reign?
Alec, there's no shame in that.
Have you revisited where you battled the ogres?
No, I haven't yet.
Do that.
Okay.
That's a place where the time hop makes it fun.
Now, I don't mean to interject here. But first off, Joel, Dwarf Romantique is pretty good. But Getty, Max Gentleman, Sexy Business, !
Is that one of these games?
The premier Victorian business tycoon and dating sim. Your family business has been stolen from you. Forge sexy partnership in the sheets while crushing rival companies in the streets. To become England's largest monopoly, Mac's Gentleman Sexy Business. That is a title. And hovering over the button. Kenny, this is your game. This is your type of game.
I don't see this game. Do I have to like type it in?
I could send you the link.
No, don't do
I will
that.
send you
I
a
was
link.
just going
I
to
will
type
send
in Max Gentleman. All right. Anyway.
Ooh, there's an uncensored DLC.
Get us out of here, please.
Nope, it's too late. You can't unsee that.
I'm just looking at all the games. Stoinks 9800.
Yep. Okay. Let me try and navigate back so that I can
We're
look
in the
everybody in
marketplace
the
of
eyes.
ideas, friends.
Yep.
Honey, I joined a cult.
Ooh.
These are good games, man. This is gonna be. Oh, this is an indie or outie. This is an indie or outie waiting to happen.
Yep. Okay. Well, maybe we'll have some fun in a later episode. But until then, that'll be it for this week's episode of Super GG Radio. Before we go, you can find us on X, formerly Twitter, at Super
don't give it to
GG Radio, and twitch.tv/Super GG Radio, where my fellow podcasters are bums.
Yep.
So, Thursdays is podcast night. Joel, Mondays, you're still...
the bad guy. I did get
almost
through a
done.
decent chunk of Disco Elysium last time, so
You're like doubling my time in that game.
It's going to happen.
in hours or years, because I feel like I've technically been streaming this for over a year.
You just need to just not stop until you beat it. You'll get there.
So I should play it
No,
off
like it-
stream then.
No, on stream, but just keep going.
Okay. I put in a good 2.5 Monday.
As the kids say, can't stop, won't stop.
They do say
But
that.
they also say Riz.
Yeah,
Riz,
they do.
Cap, no cap.
No, that's been an old thing.
It's floating around at Kelly's school now.
Oh yeah, because its rap is done with.
Yeah. It's filtered downstream. Yeah.
Yep. You must become a lich. Man, these are a lot of good games.
Alex, Monster Hunter?
Oh yeah, I'm back on the Monster Hunter Rise chain. I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll do some Skater XL. I don't know, maybe I'll just I'll just start up Monster Hunter Rise just to see where I'm at. And I'm like, oh man, this is good stuff where I'm at. I'm gonna keep going. I just started playing it off duty and like off of the stream, and I was like, okay, yeah, I could play this on stream. I could play this.
And what night is that?
I put it on the thing, is it not? It's a Wednesday.
Okay, just making sure. You used to have Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Mondays, Fridays.
I'm all over
Sunday
the map, baby.
ones?
You can't pin me down.
You've been streaming all over the place.
Yeah.
Does your family know where you've been?
Kinda.
All right.
Sometimes.
Good.
It's a need-to-know basis.
And they don't need to know.
They don't need to know.
Only that you come back itchy. If you'd like to reach us with questions or input, our email address is mail@superggradio.com. And provide us a review on iTunes or the podcast app of your choice. Thanks for listening, and good game, Alex.
Shout out to Fidget Spinner RPG. Now on sale for $2.59.
Good game, Joel.
Good game.
Good game, Alec.
GG.
That's not a sock.